Welcome, sinners. My name is Synthara, and since this is a brand new channel, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm a very long time gamer of more than 25 years. I'm 36, so I'm an old hag bitch, and that's just to give you an idea of who I am. I am a Marvel Rivals content creator on my main channel, Synthara, and I also have no life. I spend all my time playing video games, so I have the time to dedicate to these games as well as content creation to try to give you some good information and hopefully some entertainment. So, welcome. The Duet Night Abyss developer livestream just happened, and there was a ton of information in it. So, I'm gonna pick it out from their cute little roleplay skits here and try to give you a more digestible format of it. So, if you don't know, DNA is the game that sort of looks like Wuthering Waves, but is no longer a gacha game. This is probably the most important part of the game, probably the sole reason that I want to try the game out since I have completely sworn off gacha games. I waited a long time for Wuthering Waves. I played in all the closed betas, and I thought it was the perfect game until they changed the story and direction of the game. With every new beta, they copied Genshin Impact just a little more. And I don't like Genshin Impact. No disrespect if you like it, but it's just not for me. I liked the dark, depressing Devil May Cry vibes they used to have before they added things like the fish racing mini game and matching the color toddler games. But that's besides the point. Santa isn't real moment. When a game is designed to have you spend money on gotcha banners, it is just hindered by that monetization strategy. When a game has a stamina system, which this game doesn't have either, it is designed for you to only play it a certain amount of time with no further depth. These kinds of games have never been it for me. I coped really hard on trying to like some of them. Punishing Grey Raven is a big one too. That is Crow's other game. I would log in, be ready to get back into the game, play for 15 minutes, and be told I have no stamina and to come back later. And that's just not for me anymore. Duet Night Abyss seems like it's going to be a real game. Currently, everybody has been comparing the game to Warframe. Most of the same systems in this game are in Warframe, and Warframe itself has a very solid player base. This is very good in terms of numbers, so if DNA can achieve anything close to this, that would be really amazing for them. So once again, the devs are emphasizing that all the characters and weapons are free. You can unlock them through missions and farmable content like dungeons. There is an option to purchase these characters directly, but there's no information on how much these characters actually are. So I'm not sure if it's something like 10 or 20 or hell even $25 a character. And that's if you like really amazingly want the character to purchase it on that day. This is hugely far away from hundreds of dollars spent on some of these gotcha banners. There has been no information about anything like a constellation system for getting a character multiple times. This is the reason why I can't play Wuthering Waves without feeling like a giant cuck. I like challenging bosses and content. I like practicing and defeating something that's very difficult. I just finished Ninja Gaiden 4 and I enjoyed every single moment of it. When you tell me that the goal of a game is for me to spend more money to make the boss easier and faster rather than practicing mechanics and doing it that way, I just lose all interest. And before you give me the herder, just don't spend the money and be free to play, I ask you, do you enjoy the cuck chair you're sitting in? Is it soft and warm? Does your wife's boyfriend fluff that pillow up for you real nice? Okay, moving on. The dungeons. Dungeons is where you will farm materials. They said the word matchmaking. I'm not sure if that was intended as in you queue up and find random people, or if it's just the invitations between you and your friends. This isn't something they actually showed like a matchmaking button of, but they did say the word matchmaking. You can also clear these dungeons by yourself, and the teammates will just be AI partners. They said words like easily and stress free. This I'm not super happy about. It makes me very uneasy. But since these dungeons are the main way that you're going to unlock things in the game, it might not be the worst that they're easy to do, but I am hoping that there is something within the game that has a real challenge and something to work towards, because otherwise, what's the point of playing? Am I right? I know some people like this cozy idea of just sitting back, relaxing, and pushing buttons, but that's not really me. I like a big ass challenge somewhere in the game, even if it's just one thing. So I do hope that's a future plan. They go into the music, and I'll keep this brief, but this game gives off huge Expedition 33 vibes. That you're fighting against a cruel fate and sorrow. I love this theme. The music is all opera, which we know from that game can be executed amazingly well, and something very smart. Because super smart for making money is that some of these characters have their own songs. Wake up, let us welcome another sunlit, merciful day. Look there, they smile so bright, and it lights up my night. How I wish I had known. Nightingale, broken wings, you can weep, you can sleep. Now, cringe alert, but hear me out. Has Been Hotel is a show on Amazon Prime. The show gets millions of views, but the music is making millions of dollars just in Spotify revenue. League of Legends has several songs on Spotify that alone have made them millions. Songs are a very smart thing to do for a game. They hinted at the song itself being about the character's story and background, and to me, that's hugely immersive. I don't think a lot of people will talk about this since it's not really that important when it comes to the game, but from a business standpoint, I think it's actually very brilliant, and I do love the vibes. Now let's move on to the most important part about the game, and that is the combat. Now, I personally hate Genshin Impact's combat. I can't touch that game. I tried it once. I hated it. Just can't do it. Wuthering Waves, on the other hand, has great combat. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Where DNA will fall on this list visually looks closer to Wuthering Waves, and I'm praying it feels like Wuthering Waves. If the game drew any inspiration from Warframe at all, then we're also in good shape because Warframe has amazing combat and movement as well. The combat is personalized, and instead of swapping characters, you swap weapons. So you'll play as one character with 2 AI versions of your other characters with you, and you will swap between ranged and melee combat at will. Different characters also seem to use different weapons. I don't know if this is a hard lock requirement or just a recommendation. Our butterfly girl here, Psyche, uses pole arms, so you could see an example of that. There will be a new character and weapon every 28 days. The devs did mention that they want to see if this is too overwhelming for players, but it seems like they've taken up the Marvel Rivals release schedule of a new character every month. These fucking Chinese studios, bro, just cranking out banger content like mad. The West could never. The new characters will have a farming cap at first. They come with their own limited time grinding missions for extra shards. I would assume this is to incentivize you going to the shop and actually purchasing the character outright if you really want them that second. And once the character is not considered, quote, new anymore, I don't know if this means the moment another character is released that the new character is now the old character. Once that happens, you will be able to farm that character with 0 restrictions or limitations. The characters. I cannot say this. Bernencia, Rebecca, Outsider, Daphne, Margie, Truffle, Philibert, and Lizabelle will be granted through the story when the game releases, so you won't have to grind for them. They were originally supposed to be part of like the opening stagnant banner before they got rid of the gacha system. I love I love, by the way, these Chinese studios, like when they make characters, usually in China, they have like a Chinese name, and then when they come to the West, they just name them like some generic fucking American name. They'll be like Stephen, Jeffrey, and Marjorie, and you're just like, Jesus Christ. just call them Ling Lao. I'm totally fine with that. So on the topic of purchases, the main question is how will this game make money? And the dev's answer is cosmetics. There will be skins and outfits for all your characters. They show the example of Psyche here with a new dress you could purchase for her. They also show you a Christmas dress you could put on all of your characters. They didn't outright mention purchasing these postures. That's what they call them. They look like emotes that you could do in the city with other people. This includes roasting food, sitting around, sleeping in a bed. And I'm going to assume that these are purchases. The story of the game will focus on two separate protagonists, and you will be swapping in between them. You could choose male or female versions of each one. And to wrap things up in terms of rewards, there'll be 7 days of login rewards, plus all the pre-registration rewards that will be going out to everyone. The character, Bernencia, and an exclusive accessory will be coming with that. The game is available on mobile and PC on Steam and Epic Game Stores. The pre-download will be available on the 26th at 10 a.m. Chinese time, and the game itself will release at the same time on the 28th. And I'm not sponsored or anything, by the way. This game just caught my eye when they cut the gacha out of it, so I decided I was going to throw my entire life into it. I like to pick one thing and make it my entire personality, so, here we are. I stopped playing Wuthering Waves since they baited and switched me on release, where they just released only chicks after the game came out. There was nothing to do in that game that wasn't a trick to just buy other characters, and since they were only releasing girl characters, I had no interest in buying them, so I just stopped playing the game. I had always wanted to get into Warframe, but I never quite did. I'm not a huge fan of the sci-fi and mecha-looking themes, so if this game ends up just being anime Warframe, I'm actually super happy with that. This game has this black dragon guy in it, and, like, that's enough for me. Like, I've seen enough. They also have, like, some furry dude good with me there, and, like, some other dudes too. So, saying a small prayer that since this is not a gacha game and the revenue does not depend on if people actually buy the character or not, that this game might actually, I'm not hoping for a one-to-one, I know that won't happen, but getting some more dudes into the game would keep me playing. So, throw me a bone once every few months. That's all I really need. You could release like 3 girls and then a dude and just do it on that cycle, and I would be perfectly happy with that. Just don't release 1 dude a year because that's fucked up, okay? So in closing, thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more DNA stuff, including news, information, gameplay, farm guides, and more, please hit the sub button. If you found me through this DNA video and you like Marvel Rivals and you want to go subscribe to my main channel, it is Synthara, and I post news, gameplay, and all the same shit there as I will here, but for a different game. Hopefully you're as excited for this game as I am, and I will see you guys soon for release. Bye!